Peachies, welcome back to Dear Peachy. It's been a minute since we've dropped some super fun and unique eye looks to totally shake up your makeup routine. If you're ready to ditch the everyday and dive into something a little more magical, you're in the right place. Today, we've got 4 absolutely stunning eye looks that are all about that mystical, captivating, and alluring vibe. Get ready to level up your makeup game with everything from dreamy blues, flirty pinks, and vibrant purples to versatile earth tones. Whether you're just starting to explore new styles or you're a seasoned makeup lover always on the hunt for your next obsession, this video is made for you. We're excited to feature the incredibly talented Sue, whose Xiao Hung Shu profile is seriously blowing up right now with over 30,000 followers. Her style is all about being sexy, mystical, and totally alluring. Sue is a true artist when it comes to playing with different tones and textures to create incredible depth and dimension in her looks. You're going to love her. Without further ado, let's dive headfirst into our first captivating creation, the glistening turquoise eye. Sue kicks things off by applying the Be Baya's light purple blush in shade 4 just under her eyes. Now she reaches for the incredible Adept Cosmetics Emo Palette. First up, she sweeps that dreamy pink shade called Light Touch all over her upper eyelid with a fluffy blending brush, laying down the perfect soft base. She then softly sweeps the remainder onto her lower lid too. Next, she switches to a smaller, more precise blending brush and dips into the moody gray shade named Storm. She places this deeper tone on both the outer and inner corners of her eye, blending it with gentle back and forth motions to create a beautiful, smoky depth. Then she picks up the vibrant green shade called Pear and expertly blends it into the edges of that gray, creating a seamless transition. She brings this same shade towards the area around her nose roots, which instantly deepens and defines her eyes. To harmonize this masterpiece, Sue goes back to that initial soft pink shade, lightly dusting it at the very edge of the eyeshadow to tie everything together in a seamless blend. Sue then introduces a touch of softness by lightly adding the purple shade named Grable to the upper edge of the eyeshadow. She blends this upwards, connecting it towards her brow bone and down towards her nose roots. Switching to a flat brush, she picks up a rich dark brown shade and lines it along her upper lash line. This creates a subtle yet impactful liner that defines the eyes. For an extra lift, Sue applies a double lid sticker to enhance her crease, giving the eye an even more open and lifted appearance. Moving to the lower lash line, she uses that same dark brown shade to line the outer third, creating a gentle definition. Then, to truly widen and open the eyes, she lines the same area with the gray shade we used earlier. The soft purple shade is once again blended into the same area, softening the edges and perfectly tying everything together. Sue then defines her lower inner corner with the same dark brown shade, using a flat brush to trace from the inner corner towards the middle of the lower lash line. She then extends this line upwards to meet the inner upper lash roots. This same shade is also subtly used to trace the contour for under eye fat, adding soft dimension. For that magical touch of shimmer, she dabs the purple glittery shade to the middle of her lid using her finger. Sue notices the need for a bit more contrast, so she blends the gray shade along the nose root to enhance the depth. Next, she then adds the gold glittery shade on top, creating an incredible fusion of gold, green, and bluish-purple glimmers that dance in the light. Next, she brightens the inner corner of her eye using the radiant, whitish, shimmery shade named Whisper. For the under-eye fat area, she introduces a playful touch with the pink, glittery shade Backdraft. To complete the dramatic effect, Sue applies a pair of falsies that perfectly complement her eye shape, then deepens the liner once more with the dark brown shadow. She finishes this intricate look by applying a light brown shade to her eyelids, ensuring the focal point remains firmly on her stunning, mystical eyes. Ready for our next captivating creation? Let's dive into the dreamy purple-gray eyeshadow look. A truly enchanting style that's perfect for adding a touch of mystery to your gaze. For this look, we're reaching for the gorgeous Ensley Rain Underland eyeshadow palette. Sue begins by taking the muted green shade named Dreadful Dreams and adding it to the outer corner of her eye, instantly deepening the look. With a clean, smaller brush, she meticulously blends out the edges, ensuring a seamless, soft transition. Next, she introduces the rich, deep mauve shade, Cheshiri's Curse, layering it right on top of that muted green to intensify the depth even further. Then, Sue brings this same alluring mauve shade to the inner corner of her eye. This versatile mauve is also used for nose contour, delicately added at the nose roots by creating a soft C shape. Ever the perfectionist, Sue then goes back to the eyeshadow, blending out those edges once more with a clean brush for a polished finish. The mauve shade then makes another appearance, lining the entire lower lash region to create a beautifully cohesive, all-around liner effect. To soften things up, the muted green shade is layered directly on top. For an intriguing touch of blue-green, she lightly dusts that same muted green shade along her nose root, adding a subtle highlight. Now for the sparkle. Using the white shade from the palette, she brightens her inner corner and the very middle of her lid. Then, with her finger, she dabs the mesmerizing red, glittery shade onto the middle of the lid, and a touch right below the iris on her lower lid for an extra pop. Next, she adds the delicate light purple shimmery shade, Shatter Cooking Glass, to the inner corner, further illuminating her eyes. To truly connect the glitters and extend that sparkle, she finishes by adding the deep gray glitters named Shadowland to the outer corner, pulling the whole look together. To finalize this enchanting look, Sue fills in her eyeliner, creating a sharp and defined line that enhances the eye shape. Then, she applies falsies to both her upper and lower lashes, instantly transforming her gaze. To perfectly frame these captivating eyes, she gently fills in her brows with a light hand, ensuring they complement the intensity of the eyeshadow without overshadowing it. Ready to embrace your edgy side? Introducing the third show-stopping look, the smoky pink punk princess eye. For this, Sue is grabbing the incredible Bella Beauty Bar Morally Gray eye palette. She starts by brightening her eyes, using the white shade from the palette and blending it evenly all over her lids as a base. Next, she layers on the soft almond nude shade named Mixed Feelings across her entire upper lid, focusing on both the outer and inner corners to build that foundation. To instantly deepen her eyes and create a lifted, elongated shape, she adds the cool gray shade, Not a Hero, to the outer corner, extending the shadow outwards. This same versatile gray then finds its place in the inner corner too, creating a cohesive base. With a clean brush, she effortlessly blends everything together. Next, she introduces a beautiful flush of color by taking the light pink shade, Ambivalence, and blending it along the outer rim of her eyeshadow. Then, the gray shade is also added at the outer corner, intensifying that smoky effect. Any remaining powder on the brush is then gently added to the inner corner for a softer definition. Of course, Sue goes back in with that clean brush, blending everything once more. To bring the smoke down, she takes the same gray shade and lines it along her entire lower lid. The same pink shade is then blended on top, creating a softer, more diffused look. To make her eyes pop, Sue reaches for the Dreamy Exotic Sheet palette and dabs the light purple shade onto her inner corner and the middle of her lid. She even uses this same purple shade to go over the lower lid region again. To create that cut crease effect, she grabs the peachy pink shade from the same Dreamy palette, subtly lining it along her nose root and the natural groove of her eye socket, deepening the shadow for striking definition. This same peachy shade is then added on top of the light purple shade, creating a beautiful under-eye blush effect. Returning to the Morally Gray palette, she takes the dazzling champagne glittery shade, Indecisive, and adds it to the middle of her lid for a gorgeous shimmer. The opalescent glittery shade named Bittersweet is then applied to the inner corner, bringing a bright, ethereal sparkle. For her lower lash region, she uses the blue shimmery shadow from the Dreamy palette to line it along her under eye fat. To amp up the drama on the outer third of her lower lid, she lines it with the deeper blue shimmery shade, not a villain, from the morally gray palette. The look is then perfectly completed with a sharp winged liner and dramatic falsies for both upper and lower lashes, framed by a lightly filled-in brow that lets the eyes truly steal the show. Ready for a look that's both chic and totally wearable for any occasion? The last look is the wearable Earthtone Glam, and Sue is showcasing her artistry with the stunning Velvet Star Seal palette from the Russian brand Sigil. She begins by sweeping a beautiful topaz shade from the palette all over her upper lid as base, blending it upwards. Any remaining powder on her brush is then carried down to the outer third of her lower lid. If you're a little worried about blending too far, feel free to switch to a smaller brush for more precision. Next, she picks up the gray chrome shade and blends it along her entire lower lid. For definition, she then fills in her liner with the rich dark brown shade from the palette. This liner is drawn close to the lash line and extends outwards from the outer corner in a chic, straight horizontal line. And don't forget that inner region, make sure it's filled in too for a complete look. The lower lash line also gets the same precise treatment with the dark brown shade, lining from the inner corner all the way out with a clean, straight extension. To give the outer corner a more airy and modern feel, the blank gap is then softly filled in with that same gray chrome shade. Using the initial gray shade, she traces the contour for the under-eye fat, ensuring the shadow is deeper at the inner region, and gradually fades out towards the outer edge, creating natural dimension. With an eyeliner brush, Sue then sharpens the inner corner liner using the dark brown shade, before intensifying the eyeliner at the outer corner for extra impact. For a touch of everyday glam, the gorgeous gold chrome shade is added to the middle of her lid, and the lighter gray chrome shade illuminates the inner corner. The glitter can sometimes be a little messy, so have a brush ready to dust off any fallout. This lighter chrome shade also subtly lines the under-eye fat for a cohesive shimmer. As always, falsies are a must to complete this polished look, giving that extra flutter and drama. Sue then perfects her eyeliner once more with a liquid eyeliner, ensuring it's crisp and flawless. A lightly filled-in brow is the perfect finishing touch, framing these beautifully defined, earthy eyes. And there you have it. 4 incredibly diverse and stunning eye looks to inspire your next makeup adventure. Every look here offers a unique way to express yourself. We are curious, which one completely captured your imagination? Which look are you most excited to try first? Let us know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you in the next video. Goodbye.